let's move on to our final topic of the night, and that's the Clippers' new house. The Clippers' new stadium in LA. The Los Angeles Clippers have come out this week to say that they're building a brand new stadium independent of the Los Angeles Lakers. And to me, that was the biggest news, is that they were finally saying, hey, we don't want to share the Staples Center and share all the credit and all the fans with the Lakers anymore. We want to have our own home stadium that showcases our team. And guess what? Hey, we're going to build it, and we got the money to do it, so we're going to do it right now. And the way that they showed it, some of these drawings and the computer renderings looked amazing.
Yeah, this looks sick. I mean, you knew Steve Ballmer was not going to spare any expense if he was going to build his own arena. I think this makes sense. It's certainly going to help the Clippers. Certainly helps that Kawhi Leonard re-signed for another year. But you know, if you're the Clippers, you're playing second fiddle to the Lakers anyway in LA. The Clippers used to play in San Diego. So to me, the Clippers should say, okay, the Lakers are the Hollywood team. They're the LA, Hollywood, Orange County folks. You want to be the Lakers fans? Go be Lakers fans there. Folks from San Diego, you're more laid back. You're not as wacky as the Hollywood crowd is. Come watch the Clippers. Come to this other stadium, which is going to be state-of-the-art. Instead of going to the Staples Center, you come here, you hang out at our place. It's going to be newer. There's going to be a fresh look. You know, we're going to be good with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and they're going to bring other guys in. They're going to be a competitive team too, and come to our arena. That's what the Clippers are trying to do. They're trying to bring fans to a different arena to get away from the Lakers, stop playing second fiddle to them. They're never going to be the number one team in LA per se, but they should sort of be their own team in Southern California, you know, and I think that's what they're trying to do right now. And this should be the way to do it, is have their own stadium. And then fans can kind of, you know, look at it as their stadium too. You know, if you're a Clippers fan and you keep going to the Staples Center, you know, they put the Clippers floor down, but it's still the Staples Center. It's still the Lakers arena. So this makes total sense. Then Ballmer is going to be able to compete for concerts and other things like that too in the arena. And if, you know, the Staples Center is booked, you can go to the Clippers Center. I'm not even sure what they're going to call it yet. But I think this makes total sense. It's only going to help the basketball team. It's going to bring more fans to be Clippers fans rather than just sort of LA basketball fans.
They're going to call it the Intuit Dome. So Intuit is their number one sponsor, I guess, in building it, has already bought the rights to the stadium. And if producer Ben, pull up that spot where it's got the, you know, the helicopter shot looking down at the Intuit Dome. But that's what there it is right there. It's pretty tight, man. It just looks awesome, like state of the art, looks amazing, like fits well into the city. I think it's going to be amazing. But I think you brought up a good point. Like they're just sick of being in the shadow of the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, you go in there and you look up into the rafters as a Clippers fan, and guess what you see? You see 17 world championships for the Los Angeles Lakers. You see 0 for the Los Angeles Clippers. Are there any numbers retired up in there for the Clippers? I doubt it. Maybe so. 1 or 2. I doubt it. So it's like you look up there. Obviously, you got Kobe's number 8. You got Kobe's number 24. It's purple and gold everywhere. I mean, I get it. You know, they tried to make it 2 different stadiums. When the Lakers play there, they dim the lights for Hollywood. And then when the Clippers play there, they put on the lights because, you know, it's a totally different show. Like, no, it's not. It's the same stadium, man. The same stadium. You're just putting down a different court. You know what I mean? So I think this is a great idea for the Clippers to step out of the shadow of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now their fans can go there and look up to empty rafters because they've just got nothing up there. But at least they don't have to be reminded of the success that the Los Angeles Lakers keep having, and they've got none. So I think this is great. Great for the franchise, great for the fans. Like you said, it gives a lot more options as a local venue for concerts, for conventions, for everything to be able to go here. So I think the Intuit Dome is going to be one of the most high-tech stadiums in the NBA. So I think this is clearly, I think they'll be selling out tickets and selling out the stadium early here and bringing in the fans. But producer Ben, go to that inside shot too, if you could for me, please, because the screen around the top is amazing, and it looks like SoFi Stadium for the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams, they have the board in SoFi Stadium that goes completely around. And I think they just stole that idea from another LA team. But I think this will look awesome inside over a basketball court. So I'm looking forward to seeing this thing when it's finally built and in its final form. But I undoubtedly think this is an amazing decision by the Los Angeles Clippers to build their own stadium and have their own house.
Yeah, and as you mentioned too, they're probably going to implement a lot more tech into the stadium too, where there's more every fan's on their phone when they're at the stadium. So why not, take advantage of that and implement some new features where you can get involved in what's going on with the stadium, just from your phone, so that you're watching the game, you're doing something on your phone with the arena. Ballmer's, got rich off of a big tech company, so this is obviously in his wheelhouse. That's what they're gonna do here, and just to have that awesome banner monitor there that you were just talking about is really cool. You don't got banners where you have this unbelievable flat screen banner that goes around the stadium, which is pretty sweet. That's all the banner you need. So
we'll hide those banners. We'll hide them. You won't see them.
Yeah, exactly. So this looks awesome. I'm sure they're pumped to do this, and yeah, definitely an attraction too for people going. It's hard to get Lakers seats, so maybe when you go visit LA, go to a Clippers game. They're going to be good too, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art stadium. So just one more thing to check out in LA. Folks, if you like this show, you're watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's Comeback Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, Comeback Sports. And then all the cut-ups that our awesome producer, Ben Kudo, puts together after the show, that'll all filter to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go search for it. It's just right there in your subscriptions.